So, are we live?
We're live with probably a 10-second delay here, so give them another 10 seconds.
Okay. So, let's see. Is there anything I can do? There is one thought
we are live
here.
on YouTube.
There's one possibility. No, neither of those are working.
Hello, Potfeet.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
We're in a mess. Input, output, Elgato, StreamYard, that should be Elgato Wave XLR, that should be right. Live sausage, live and direct.
Do you want to tell? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
You want to tell the audience, since we're now live, what you're working?
Yeah, so there's a bug between the apps for from Rogue Amoeba and macOS 13.1. They have when you open up Rogue Amoeba, it says, "Yeah, there's a big problem. A lot of stuff might just not work." I could stop and start this. Let me try stopping and starting Rogue Amoeba.
Okay.
And the alert amongst you will notice that there's no such app as Rogue Amoeba. I meant Audio Hijack. Eric, nice to see you again. It's been a while. Roll call sausage. Yeah, I don't know. So YouTube live input isn't working, which means you won't be able to hear Steve. But I wonder whether... Well, Steve, you can you play audio from your side?
I might be able to.
Into StreamYard. How would you do that?
How would I do that?
Yeah, you should worry, Jill. It's problematic. Oh, worried for me. So I could.
So if I open up, well, yeah, if I put these files in a playable app, like music or
QuickTime.
QuickTime's probably easiest. And then let me see if I can grab QuickTime.
Yeah, how would you?
Let's see if StreamYard can grab QuickTime as a share.
Oh, but can it do the audio?
That's what I want to find out. Not sure. Oh, share screen. That kind of implies no, but let me try. Share that. Yeah, that might. Now let me. If I play this, tell me if you hear it. Long time NosillaCast. No, remember our good friend. It's coming out in the wrong area. Oh, yeah, that doesn't.
Oh, I was muted. Can you talk to me, Steve?
I don't think. Tell me if you can hear this.
I no longer hear you, but my mic is working now. Actually, faint audio. So Steve has messed his own audio up. Can you guys still hear me in Discord? If you can, okay, good. I'm betting you're going to be able to hear. Yeah, Steve, you've done something.
No, well, that faint audio.
Concurrent. We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I'm going to hit. Oh no. Yeah, I'm going to hit play on Discord on Hindenburg for Discord. Could you guys hear Hindenburg that time?
I don't hear it.
No. You hear Steve. Oh, for the love of Pete. I don't hear Steve.
You don't hear me right now? At all?
He's talking to me.
Testing 1 2.
Hello. My audio is going into StreamYard. Steve, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Okay, Steve can hear me in StreamYard.
Both places.
Oh, he can hear me twice. That's good. Steve sounds like he's in a barrel, they're saying. They hear you, but you're super faint. Steve, so I think something happened with your audio, but this looks like YouTube Live should work. Steve, talk now.
Testing 1 2 3. Am I?
Yeah, no. Check your
microphone
audio.
Maybe it shifted.
Why is this not working? Why is Hindenburg should work? I'm going to play it one more time and look at it from here. Yeah, no. Yeah, this is just buggy. Testing. I don't know what to do, guys.
Yeah, I don't.
I have an idea.
How about now? Did that change my audio?
Okay, we need to fix Steve's audio. But in the meantime, I'm going to do something crazy. I want you guys to hear what what I'm going to play back as Steve. So I'm going to give you something to listen. Steve is still quiet on Discord.
Wow. What changed here?
Let me make sure I'm listening in the right place.
Okay,
yeah.
does this help my audio?
Talk to me, Steve.
How about now? Am I more
Nothing.
normal? No, it does not help. What is going on?
No Steve. Still
Maybe I
quiet.
should
No
leave
change.
the studio and come back.
Okay, I'm going to FTP the file. What tool do I use to FTP? I use... Oh, when it's so confusing, it's hard to remember my app names. It is called, what's the terminal? No, Transmit, thank you. There you go. When you only do it by name and you've gotten yourself all confused, I'm going to upload your file, Steve, to, and see if I can figure out a URL for it so that they can listen. And the Honda Bob intro is...
They being the Discord audience?
This file.
You're not hearing me, I guess.
Okay, while you're working on your audio, Steve, I assume you're still working on it, trying to figure out why nobody can hear you?
I'm just trying to get feedback if they can hear me now. Can you guys hear me?
You do understand I can't hear you, right?
Still quiet. Okay. I need to leave and I'll leave and come back.
This is... Okay, he left. Maybe he'll come back. Let's hope so. In a few seconds. Okay, there we go. If I can figure out...
How about now?
Now you're back.
I had to get out of StreamYard and just go back. So
yeah,
something changed.
They can hear Steve, but it sounds like he's on the wrong mic. Check your mic in Discord.
All right.
I can hear him now, loud and clear. 2022. Okay.
That's definitely on the wrong
Okay,
mic.
you were on the wrong mic.
Okay, this should be better. On Discord.
Okay, cancel. Stop. Oh, for the love of Pete. I'm still working to figure out what a link would look like. Ooh, let's see if it looks like this. Okay, I'm going to get you guys a link because Steve spent all afternoon working on something and I want you to be able to hear it.
So people in Discord would be able to hear it, but not in YouTube?
I don't know how to fix that problem.
All right.
I know how to FTP a file up to where if anybody sees the URL, they can listen to it. But now I've got to fix it.
So everyone would have to hit play at the same time. We wait till they listen, or how do we synchronize this?
Okay, if you have a better idea, Steve,
no, I don't.
You just let me know.
I'm just trying to figure out how this is going to work.
Well, it's not working at all. Guys, I wish I could fix this.
So Zoe's suggesting putting a link in the YouTube comments.
Sure. I don't know where those are. I assume those exist for somebody.
So I'm at the YouTube link or the YouTube session, and I could put in a link there.
Okay, but only if I can figure out how to get a good URL. What am I doing wrong with this URL, everybody? What have I missed? This is... that's true. They can listen when the show is released, but this was our Christmas show. Why does that link not work? What am I doing wrong?
Maybe we can do, let's see. We're not having a live show next.
No, this is the last live show. We've got to do it. We have the technology. Oh, I see what's wrong. Hang on. No, I know where I see what's wrong. One moment. I can fix this. I can do it. That's what it needs to be at the beginning. Hang on. We're almost there. Except for that. There we go. Okay. Here you go. There. But don't listen yet. So Steve, can you put that link in the YouTubes?
Sure.
So now we can start the show.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I just really hope they get this fixed while I'm gone here. Okay. Now I need to find the show that I'm supposed to be doing. The recording preview should be over here. I need a drink. Is it time for a roll call yet? All right. Have we done roll call? I'm doing roll call anyway. I bet you did give me a roll call. We have Jason and Eric and Jill and Ed and John and Payon. I forget who Payon is. And Kurt and Rick and Sandy and Michael and Al and Zoe. And let's see, is Rose here? I don't see Rose yet. Let me know when she comes. Oh, there's Rose. Rose is down and everyone can talk. Can somebody tell Rose where she's supposed to be? All right. So we got that audio, but you don't need to hear any of that yet. But I'm going to start the show. You ready, Steve?
Yes.
I hope so. Here we go. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, December 18th, 2022, and this is show number 919. Well, I think I'm in good shape to produce next week's show, and it will probably come out on Friday, the 23rd of December. Just to remind everyone, even though Michael Westbay will be sad, there will not be a live show on Sunday, the 25th, because it's Christmas night. This is the last live show of the year, and Steve and I are dressed up in holiday garb. We have Santa hats on. It's a whole thing. Anyway, the show for New Year's Day will be a bit dicey for me to pull together because while I got a bunch of contributions with the I'm Still Using It stuff for the Christmas show, I don't have content for the New Year's Day show. So I may have to move some of the I'm Still Using It segments to that week, but if you have anything you could do to record for me, you can sit and read a phone book if you got a good voice. I'm talking to you, Alistair. No, Alistair doesn't have to do anything. Anyway, if you have anything that we can play for the New Year's show, that would be great. Would sure appreciate some help. But I'm actually here to ask you for a bit farther out. I want you to see if you can pull something together for the reviews for Bart and Alistair, because they're going to be doing shows for the middle to end of February, while Steve and I will be in Antarctica. We will be off grid. I'm pretty darn sure there's no good satellite coverage or anything in the Antarctic. So we need content for Bart and Alistair before the middle of February. I really appreciate them doing this. And the only way those shows are going to happen is if you give your help. Okay. Oh, you can do Stream Deck by then. Yay. Steam Deck. Boy, wonder if anybody else is going to get that messed up. Yeah, drone on and on and on as long as you want for that article. All right. What do you think the chances are my grumpy button's going to work? Let's give it a try.
I'll find out.
Oh, I think it's going to work. Yep. Nope. Didn't do anything. What was that? I got the beep. Didn't make any mark. Okay, let's try it again. Nope.
You have the right app highlighted?
Nope. It's in an even worse mood than usual. So we are going to have to do it by hand. Oh, no, there it goes.
Oh.
It worked.
Delayed reaction.
Yeah, very delayed. That's really interesting. All right. So let me open up. What did I say it was? Not that one. This one.
Tesla. We got a snore dog.
How did I? Oh, this isn't good. I think I'm running yes, I am. I'm running two versions of Mars Edit. This. There we go. All right, here we go. In the final Chit Chat Across the Pond of the year, Bart Busschots joins us to talk about what verification really means, actually, I got to say that's a Chit Chat Light. In the final installment of Chit Chat Across the Pond Light for the year, Bart Busschots joins us to talk about what verification really means. Like, how do you know what a website is what it says it is? And then how does that verification is accomplished? And then he folds that forward to talk about how do Twitter and Mastodon do their respective verification. It's a little bit nerdy, but it's not too nerdy for you. And I think it's a really interesting thing to know, especially as so many of us are moving to Mastodon, to try to understand what does it mean if you see a green check mark in Mastodon, because it's very different from the other services. I hope you'll go take a look for Chit Chat Across the Pond, number 756, in your podcatcher of choice. Yeah, where is Kevin? He gave us a written excuse, didn't he?
Right. Remember I posted it last week.
That's right.
The next 2 weeks he won't be able to join us.
That's right.
This show and the next. Well, we won't have a next.
Okay, come on. Am I still running? What is Oh, no, that was right. Okay. Now it's time for a chapter mark. Yeah, who's doing chapter marks? Oh, Al's on it. Good job. Okay.
I think Rick's also on it.
Oh, I know what's wrong.
What?
Oh, God. It's triggering that old version of Mars Edit. I need to get rid of the old version and redo this. So I'm going to do these by hand because that's just too much anarchy if I don't.
One show.
Yeah. And then copy link. Yeah, that's what's going on. Okay, so we don't need 2 copies running. Remind me next year to fix that, because I will not remember. I am just out of gas here, guys. This is okay. Anyway, here we go. This week, I had the absolute great delight of being on the Cord Killers podcast with hosts Tom Merritt and Brian Brushwood. They've been my inspiration in finally cutting the cord here at Casa Sheridan. I wanted to go on the show and have them pat me on my little pumpkin head because I'd finally cut the cord. You know, I was acting like I had made fire cutting the cord, and it was actually the 10th anniversary of when Brian cut the cord. But you know what? They're great guys, and they didn't make fun of me at all. And in fact, I got to teach them about a really nifty tool called channels. And I'm actually going to give you all of the nitty-gritty details about channels in this very episode. But the discussion on Cord Killers is really, really fun. And I suggest you go listen or watch episode 435 called Little TV Guide with Allison Sheridan over at cordkillers.com. All right. Now it's time to fire up, hit the link, and start listening while I work let's see. I guess you guys got to tell me, do you guys want to listen to, I think you should. Listen to Steve. And Steve, let's play the link ourselves.
Yeah, let me bring it up so we can know how long it's going to last.
Okay.
How long?
Yeah, so it's 4 minutes.
Well, yeah, I guess the intro is 4 minutes, and then there's the actual poem.
So let's just, we got to keep moving here. Yeah. So ready?
Everybody, what are we doing right now? The intro?
Everybody hit play, the intro.
Okay.
Oh, but you don't say who you are.
I think they'll know. This is people on Discord only, right?
No, okay.
I'm not following what you do. I thought we were just playing this on Discord, right?
Okay. Let me just do my thing. I was going to try to do this concurrently, but it's not going to work. So let me do this. I'm going to do our come on. Do the chapter mark. And then I'm going to get the URL for it. And then I'll just sit here and listen myself. Okay. So I need to say a little something.
Okay.
Because I need to tell the audience of the podcast that it's you, right?
Correct.
Next up, we have a message from Steve. Okay. So now, everybody get ready. Everybody ready? Ready?
This is my question before you go on. We're just playing the intro part right now, correct? Because that's all I've got recorded.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, go.
Long-time Nosilla castaways will remember our good
Whoops.
friend Honda Bob, especially this time of year. For those of you who don't know the history,
Okay.
I've hit the end, but I'm gonna wait until people tell me they're done. We'll wait for Sandy.
So are we going to do the same thing
Yeah.
with the
And
poem?
I've got the link ready.
You know, we might be able to just put the M4, the AIF file or the MP3 in the in Discord.
I've got the link ready.
All right.
So we'll just vamp until you're done. We're making it work. I think this is it. All right. I'll just keep saying, I'm not done yet.
I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. That's exactly what I heard.
All right, Sandy's done.
Okay. All
I'm
right,
done.
Al. Okay, Ed's done. All right, Al. So I'm going to give you the link before Al's done there, but okay, good. All right, Kurt's done. Is that everybody?
I think it is.
Okay, so this is the next part. This is the next
poem.
recording. So I'm going to bring that up, and I'm going to, everybody got the link? Everybody, places everybody? 1, 2, 3,
Hit.
play. Aw, that was nice, Steve. The dubs are funny.
Like, bring that. This is going to be a little uneven on YouTube since nothing is playing. There's no audio whatsoever on the. Oh boy, sorry, YouTube watchers.
Yeah.
But go to the podcast when she releases it tonight, and you can
Wait,
hear.
how will it be any less uneven? Your
No,
dubbing will still
YouTube
be there,
won't
right?
change. I'm saying go to the podcast when it's released, when it's posted.
Oh,
hear
you're
it.
saying it'll, because of Auphonic, you think it'll be a little bit better?
No, YouTube's not hearing anything right now. And if they wanted to hear what they missed, they can go hear the podcast.
Oh, so I see what you're saying.
We just waited like 7 minutes with no audio
Okay.
on YouTube.
Well, yeah. What are you going to do? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to record a little bit here. All right. Well, thanks for that, Steve. As Sandy in the live chat room said, it's not Christmas until Steve reads his poem. It sounds like he may have done a little bit of dubbing to modernize the poem this time, but I really appreciate it. And it's great to hear the memories of Honda Bob. He was a terrific guy. He was a NosillaCast away, and we still miss him every day. And by the way, I know Lynn York listens to the show, and Lynn York is a good friend of ours, and Lynn York was a good friend of Honda Bob. So I want to give a hat tip to her as well. Oh, you made that edit last year? Did you make any edits this year, Steve?
No, I didn't. No audio edits. No.
Okay. All right. I need to keep moving. Okay. Now we're going to actually let you hear some stuff going. This proves it doesn't matter what we play. Let's see. Okay. Chord cutting part 2. This one I saved from last week. Okay. Here we go.
Did you get the chapter mark in? I can't quite read it.
I did.
Okay, good.
Really?
It's just too small in my window.
Some bright blue. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Last week, I told you that Steve and I finally cut the cord, as I talked about earlier, replacing Frontier's TV service with YouTube TV, and how we'll be saving $1,217 per year going forward. After I posted the article about our experience, I got 2 nearly identical messages explaining one more thing we needed to try. Both Dave Hamilton of the Mac Geek Gab and Ed Tobias, our good friend in NosillaCast, suggested we try out a service called Channels. So Channels doesn't replace YouTube TV, but rather augments whatever streaming TV service you decide to use. Now, Channels isn't free, and as Dave pointed out, he knows it would chew into our savings to the tune of $80 per year. Well, I figured if Dave and Ed both think it's cool, I had to give it a try. So let's talk about the problem to be solved here. When I told you about our cord cutting experience, I described a few minor inconveniences with YouTube TV, and I got to tell you, Channels fixes all of them. The first thing I mentioned was that scrubbing through commercials is a real bear on the Apple TV remote with YouTube TV. On fully recorded shows, when you come up to a commercial, Channels gives you a prominent button to skip it. Scrubbing in general is much less janky on Channels than even when using the Apple TV remote. So I would even call it janky on Channels, and YouTube TV, definitely janky. Now, in my review, I explained that the YouTube TV interface was different, not bad different, just different from what I was used to using a TiVo. Well, for TiVo lovers, the Channels interface is like coming home again, except the home got repainted and the kitchen got remodeled, but they kept all of the silverware and appliances right where they were, so you can still find everything. So Channels provides an interface that uses your live TV service. In my case, I'm feeding Channels through YouTube TV, but Ed and Dave both use Channels with Fubo TV. You could use Channels with Sling, Verizon Fios, Dish, DirecTV, Xfinity, and more. I'll be explaining Channels from the perspective of a YouTube TV user, but remember, you can just substitute in the name of how you get your live linear TV. Hey, Steve, can you do a search for live/Z? It looks like I was doing a command.
Z?
Live/Z, yeah.
All right.
Looks like a classic case of me hitting Command Z and actually typing the letter Z. It should say live/linear. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to assume you can find that. Thank you, dear. Fundamentally, it's important to understand that Channels records your TV shows to a local device on your network. This device will be your Channels DVR. I installed Channels DVR software on my Synology, but you can create a Channels DVR server on a Mac, on Windows, on Linux, on a Raspberry Pi, on FreeBSD, FreeNAS, QNAP, Netgear ReadyNAS, Seagate NAS, Western Digital MyCloud, unpaid Asuster, whatever that is, NVIDIA Shield, and a Drobo, or in a Docker container. That's got to be enough. You must have one of those things laying around if you're a NosillaCast, right? It turns out you don't even need a fancy new fast computer. The minimum requirements for Channels are a 1 gigahertz CPU and 1 gigabyte of RAM. They say to take an old computer, connect a big hard drive to store your shows, and you will be in business. The Channels DVR server software is a free download from Channels. I need to know what that URL is. Copy link. What URL is that? Getchannels.com. Okay. We're doing good now. Yay, FreeBSD. The Channels DVR server software is a free download from Channels. Okay, got to remember what it said. The Channels DVR server software is a free download from getchannels.com. Channel's DVR software is controlled through a web interface to the server that you designated. The first step in configuring Channels is to tell it the source to use to record your shows. Now, you would think that choosing a source means choosing between your live linear TV service like TiVo or Fubo TV. That's not supposed to say TiVo. That's supposed to say YouTube TV. Okay, Steve, can you find the section that starts with defining the source?
Defining the source.
Yeah, find that section. It's a heading.
Yep, got it.
Okay, partway through, right before it says Fubo TV, it should say YouTube TV, not TiVo.
Services like YouTube TV.
Correct.
All right.
Thank you. Really appreciate you doing that. That's easier than me trying to do it. The first step in configuring Channels is to tell it the source you use to record your shows. You would think that choosing a source means choosing between live linear TV services like TiVo. God. Okay, don't read what it says. Read what you know is right, Allison. Okay. Ed says the only downside to Channel is there's no browser or Mac app. But if you have an Apple Silicon Mac, the Channels software works from on your new Mac. The Channel software for the iPad and iPhone. All right, and I will get into that. The first step to configuring Channels is to tell it the source you use that you're going to be recording your shows from. You would think that choosing a source means choosing between your live linear TV service like YouTube TV or Fubo, but unfortunately, there's another abstraction layer to this. It's not hard, but it is an abstraction layer. The 4 choices in the web interface for a channel source are HD home run device, and that's a physical box you can buy to get antenna or cable TV and then use Channels to record it. You can do custom channels, and that's where you can add streams from your IP cameras. There's Play on Cloud, which is a cloud DVR service for video content from streaming TV providers. Or finally, TV Everywhere, which is a system used by cable and streaming providers to give you access to network channels. TV Everywhere is a free service that will connect your live linear TV service, for example, your YouTube TVs, to your Channel's DVR. Now, you may not realize that you've authenticated through TV Everywhere before. It's the service you get kicked over to when an app like CNN or Apple TV asks you to authenticate to your live linear TV service. Once you choose TV Everywhere in the Channels interface, you choose your live linear TV service provider and authenticate to that provider. Now, it's a bit head-bendy to picture in your head how the TV shows are going from YouTube TV to TV Everywhere to Channels to your Apple TV or whatever device you end up viewing it on, so I created one of my internationally famous diagrams to help clarify what's happening here. Now, I know this sounds a smidge complicated when I described it, but it actually wasn't that hard. Let me just give you an example. I told our buddy Ron about it on a Friday night, and the next morning in a half an hour, he had it set up at his house. But there is one stupid part. In order to authenticate to TV Everywhere, we had to use a YouTube TV account. And I was using Steve's Gmail account to connect it to TV Everywhere, but TV Everywhere doesn't support two-factor authentication, which is really stupid. And of course, Steve's Gmail account has 2FA enabled. So I thought about temporarily disabling 2FA on the Gmail account, but then I wondered whether there might be some ripple effects where the codes got out of sync when I turned it back on. Steve came up with a workaround that is sure to bite us later, but it works for now. YouTube TV lets you share your account with up to 5 total accounts. So we created a placeholder Gmail account without two-factor authentication, and we added it to our family on YouTube TV. Okay, once we were past that hurdle, TV Everywhere churned away on YouTube TV, and eventually it found 163 channels for us to record. We're actually done with the main part of the heavy lifting here. Let's have some fun. Channels has apps for iPhone, iPad, Apple TV, Android, and Fire TV. If you have an Apple Silicon Mac, the iOS app works just fine on your Mac. It's a little bit ugly, but it still works. I said at the beginning that Channels will feel like coming home to TiVo refugees. If you search for a show in the Channels app, you'll see the familiar Create Pass option, just like you had on TiVo. When you create a pass, you get to choose whether to record just new episodes or all episodes, how many recordings to keep, and whether to start and end the recording on time for those shows that slop over their allotted times. Once you create a pass, your show will start to record, storing the video files on the channel's DVR server that you created. Your recorded shows will now show up under the Library tab in all of the channel's apps. Now, if you like looking at the TV guide to see what's on live TV, it's quite pretty on channels. Calling it the TV Guide brings back memories of my childhood when the TV Guide was a paper magazine you bought at the grocery store every week to see what was going to be on. Good times. All right, I hope you like purple because Channels is all shades of purple. The guide is all different colors of purple, and the icon for the Channels app is a vivid purple background with a striped TV symbol on it. Now, that purple icon is actually one of the things I love about Channels because I could never find the YouTube TV logo apart from the regular YouTube logo on my Apple TV. That Channels icon in bright purple, man, it can be spotted a mile away. I love the way Channels implements the ability to skip commercials. I know I said this already, but it's too glorious not to repeat. The timeline, done in shades of purple, of course, shows gaps where commercials will be, so you can manually scrub right over them and stop precisely where you want. It's so much better than YouTube TV. Now, I'm actually not going to go through more features of the Channels app because it's just intuitive. It's super easy to use. If you've ever used a DVR before, and especially if you've used a TiVo, you won't have any trouble at all watching TV using the Channels app on your Apple TV or other devices. Now, after we got Channels working, we realized that none of our local channels were showing up. I poked around a bit in the web interface for the Channels DVR software, which, to be perfectly transparent, has a lot of very weird settings I don't understand. And at the very bottom was a simple checkbox that says, Local Networks via TV Everywhere. Since I'd already enabled TV Everywhere as a source, I checked the box, it rescanned the channels, and now I had our local channels showing up as well. Now, there is a problem Channels solves that I didn't actually know was a problem. YouTube TV is evidently problematic when you're away from home. It gets confused between where you're watching and where you were when you enabled the service. It seems to really annoy people who watch their local sports ball. With Channels, since you're recording the shows from your own home on your own Channels DVR service, the experience is much more predictable. However, to be able to remotely connect to your Channels DVR server on your home network, you must open a port on your router. Now, that's not a huge deal, but if you've gone down as nerdy of a path as this, you're up to the challenge. Now, they do offer to let you use UPnP, which stands for Unplug and Play, but we know from listening to Bart that that's a very bad idea from a security standpoint, so I enabled a specific port instead. Now, if you use Tailscale on the same device that is your DVR, you might run into a problem. If you're running a VPN on the same server as the DVR, then channels can't be accessed from outside the network. Now, I'm not running a traditional VPN, but Tailscale is a specialized type of virtual private network. I had to phone a friend on this one, asking Dave Hamilton how he navigated around this since he's who turned me on to Tailscale in the first place. Without calling me names, he gently pointed out that there was a checkbox to allow Tailscale right under the checkbox I just checked to add local networks. Well, I did have to do a bit more faffing about setting my Synology as what's known as an exit node, and it's caused me a little bit of grief in some other ways, but it's mostly working. We may just use the YouTube TV when we're away from home and just stop worrying about that. Now, another benefit to having the DVR recordings stored on your local machine is you can view them even when your internet service goes out. Heck, you can actually move the recordings to your laptop or mobile device and take them with you on a plane. I don't have any desire to do that, but I'm excited to know that I could if I wanted to. Now, before I finish up, I wanted to tell you about a few more fun things to explore on the Channels DVR web interface. I mentioned that there are some somewhat baffling things in the web interface, but I didn't realize I was only looking at the settings tab, and that's where the scary stuff is. But there's so many more cool things to do on the other tabs. Still on the settings tab, there is one more super valuable section. Remember when I said that TV Everywhere found 163 channels available to me? Well, I can guarantee you I don't want to scroll through 163 channels on the guide. Turns out there's a gear next to the source you've provided that allows you to manage the TV lineup. From this interface, you can favorite channels and, more importantly, hide channels. In the app interface on your device, you can then view the entire guide or just the favorites you've identified there. All right, now that we've done some cleanup, let's play with the fun stuff in the Channels DVR interface. There's a live TV tab where you can view the guide in the web interface, see what's on TV right now, and see scheduled shows coming up. This interface is really for discovery of new shows. The library tab lets you see a very pretty interface of the shows you've recently watched, recently updated, or recently added. It's pretty because each show has the album art for the show. The DVR tab lets you view the passes you've created in a list, and for each one you can directly edit the pass, pause it, or delete it. You can see what's scheduled to record as well. This section was invaluable in realizing that we were recording one show on the wrong channel. 60 Minutes is on CBS on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. at our house, but it showed that it had recorded the show on Monday at 10 p.m. Baffled, we started poking around and discovered that we had set it to record on CBS N. We looked at the channel lineup, and sure enough, there's a whole pile of rogue CBS channels. Another reason to clean up your channel lineup. Now, I was curious about how much storage we were using on our Synology with all of these DVR shows. When I did my check, we had 24 shows set to store only one episode each, and it was taking up 95 gigabytes on our Synology. That's not really that much, but I started poking into the folders to see what I would find. I discovered that there were 44 episodes, even though I'd said all 24 of these shows should only record one show. So what were those extra 20 shows? In the channel's DVR web interface, there's a tab called Trash. Aha! In the trash, I found the 20 shows with details of what shows they were, when they were recorded, and I had options to restore them, delete them, or just wait for automatic deletion. I couldn't figure out how long they sit in the trash, but some of them said they would be deleted that very day, so I figure it's probably not more than a week. The Final Fun tab in the channel's DVR web interface allows you to see all of the clients you've connected to your channel's service. It shows you each device and a ton of information about each one, like the operating system, what version of the channel's apps it's running, and whether it last connected remotely or local to your network. Next to each client is a gear, and this opens up a giant list of settings you can override just for that particular device. There are way too many settings to describe, and many I don't completely understand, but one setting that would illustrate why you might want to wander around in there. You can set a content filter to kids-only content for a specific device. Like I said, there's a lot to explore, so it's worth poking around in there. The bottom line is that I find channels a prettier and more intuitive interface for watching live TV, making recordings of shows, and viewing the channel guide. Having an automatic skip commercials button is delightful, and scrubbing is a joy. We were happy with YouTube TV at an annual savings of $1,217, but we are much happier with YouTube TV plus channels for a savings of $1,137. Remember, you don't have to have a Synology to have all this fun. Dust off that old PC, Mac, or Raspberry Pi, and hook up a hard drive and have some fun with channels from getchannels.com.
John pointed out one typo / phrasing. UPnP is universal plug and play, not unplug and play. So I made the edit in the blog post. I wouldn't go back and redo the audio.
Yeah. I'm going to actually add it right here. Who told us? John?
John.
Hassanut? So I said unplug and play, and it's universal plug and play.
Right.
Now, here's the value of doing the show live, and I make no guarantees about what next week's show is going to be like. John just corrected me. I said UPnP was unplug and play. It's universal plug and play. Thanks, John, for the correction.
Good catch, John.
Good catch.
Thanks.
Yeah. Next week's going to be poo-poo. All right. Let's do it.
Next week's going to be poo-poo?
Yeah, because nobody's going to be here to correct me.
Oh, I see.
Right?
Yes, gotcha. Maybe I should listen to it.
No. I've got to start recording. Like the minute we hang up, I got to start recording next week's show.
Yeah.
I'm also this week making a video for Don McAllister. So other than that, I'm not doing much. Support the show.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm doing a chapter mark.
Gotcha.
There we go. All right, here we go. We will send corrections. Thanks. It's the relaxed retired life. I do not feel retired, I got to tell you. Okay, here we go. A lot of wonderful people support the work we do here at the Podfeed Podcast through Patreon, but some people prefer to be more proactive in their support. The most delightful Christoph Trusch chooses to support the shows by actively going to PayPal once a quarter and making a donation. I love that he does this because it helps the show a lot, but also when I get the email, it gives me a chance to chat with him and catch up. It's nice to be reminded that he's still out there getting value from the shows. If you'd like to actively support our work, please consider going to podfeet.com/PayPal and choose an amount that you feel represents the value you get from the shows. All right. Copy.
Next is Ron.
Yeah. So we will not be playing this. It's long anyway. I wasn't going to play it.
Yeah, we're almost out of time anyway.
Yeah. What a shock. So this next thing is all about how Ron and I both really dig Stage Manager. And we're here. Let's see. I'm going to listen. You're not going to hear a darn thing. Let's see. Okay. He is on his... He doesn't have a microphone. I need to get him one.
We got plenty of microphones around here.
I know. You would think, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. There we go. Finishing up here. Actually, I'm going to listen to the end and record here. Well, I did have a lot of fun with Ron, and I had a lot of fun with the live audience this week. The last live show of the year. I'm going to miss them next week when I'm talking into a microphone all by myself. Anyway, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me at allison@podfeet.com, and you can send me audio reviews that you've done, that you're going to do for the shows, for me, for the New Year's week, and for Bart and Alistair. Send those to allison@podfeet.com. If you have questions or suggestions, you can send those over too. You can follow me on Twitter @Podfeet. I'm not actually posting there very much anymore, so you can also find me at Mastodon at podfeet@chaos.social. And of course, there's links in the show notes. There's links on podfeet.com. It's all over the place. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, I highly recommend joining our Slack community at podfeet.com/Slack, where you can talk to me and all of the other lovely NosillaCastaways. Remember, everything good starts with podfeet.com. You can support the show at podfeet.com/Patreon or with a quarterly donation like Christoph at podfeet.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, you cannot do that until New Year's night, but when you do, head on over to podfeet.com/live at Sunday night at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCastaways. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a safe and happy holiday. Thanks for listening, and stay subscribed. There we go. By the way, here's a screenshot explaining why we can't... thank you, Zoe. Explaining why the problems probably weren't my fault this time.
I saw that.
Oh, you got that too?
Yeah, but I don't know why I got it because...
Well, you run loopback and...
No, I don't run loopback, but I do run... I think this is also related to Sound Source.
Yeah, it's everything Rogue Amoeba.
Oh, okay. But Sound Source appears to be working so far.
Well...
But we haven't fully exercised it. There are probably things that don't work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, things aren't working for me. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. So let's see. We need to do a chapter count.
Okay.
I don't think there's very many. I'm going to go with 6. There are 6 lights.
4, 5.
Way to stick the landing. Thanks, Kurt.
6, and you don't count the transcript.
Right.
Yeah,
but there will be a transcript. All right. Oh, nice GIF, Ed. All right. Well, everybody, happy holidays, as I said, and have a safe time. Hope you get to get presents, tech presents. Actually, that's what I should have said. When you get those tech presents, think about how you can do an audio review and drone on and on and on about them. Make these long reviews for me, okay?
Stretch it.
Say, I got a USB cable. It's red.
You can only plug it in one way, though.
Schleg lock? Sure. Nobody's ever done the Schleg lock.
Schleg. I assume that's a smart lock.
Oh, Zoe's getting AirPods Pro. Very excited. Did you already sneak a look at your present, Zoe? Well, I think I'll update you with the new I'm still using it file. Great. We do have somebody, I forget if I read this one already, but Steve Davidson uses an Airport Extreme as a NAS. So if you're still using your, you said you're still using your, I forget what they're called. It's like that. There was a name for them. You said time capsule. Yeah. All right. Okay. He's yelling chapter count, but we did the chapter count a while ago. Time capsule. There we go. Yes. I want everybody's, anything you got. Help us out here. But Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Goodbye, Rose. Mwah.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy holidays.
Somebody take a screenshot of how cute we are, though.
Here, let me grab one. All right. We got it.
Good.
I'm ending this show. We'll see you next year, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.